Hi everybody, welcome to the next video here. And in this video I want to talk about how long you have to rest between sets and exercises. So the workout rest times. So after you have selected the exercises that you will perform in each of your workouts and put them in the ideal order, the next important step is to answer the following question. First, how long should you rest between sets of an exercise, and second, how long should you rest between different exercises? Simply put, if your rest periods are too long or too short, you will end up sacrificing the results you want to some degree. The goal is to find that sweet spot right in between resting too much and too little. And when you find that, you will have found your optimal rest time. As it turns out, there is primarily three major factors that influence what your ideal rest time should be. First, what intensity of rep range you are using for a given exercise. Second, how demanding that exercise is on your body as a whole. And third, your primary goal, which is building muscle, increasing strength, losing fat, etc. And based on these three factors, it's pretty common to see rest time recommendations of between from 0 seconds to 5 minutes between sets and exercises. That's a pretty broad range, and luckily this range can be narrowed to some greatly by applying each factor to your exact situation. So here's how. In an earlier video, I have explained that the fewer reps you can do per sets of an exercise, the higher your training intensity is. And the more reps you can do per set of an exercise, the lower the intensity is. Like how only being able to lift a weight for 5 reps means you are training at a fairly high intensity, while being able to lift a weight for 15 reps is a fairly low intensity. So this all has a direct effect on the amount of rest that you need between sets. Here's what I mean. The higher the rep range or the lower the intensity, the less rest you need between sets of that exercise. And the lower the rep range or the higher the intensity, the more rest you need between sets of an exercise. So for example, if you are doing 6 reps per set of an exercise, you would need more rest between sets than if you were doing 12 reps per set of that same exercise. This makes perfect sense. Along with how many sets you're doing per set of an exercise, the exercise itself and how demanding it is on your body also plays a big role in how long you should rest. The more demanding an exercise is on your body, the more rest you will need, and the less demanding an exercise is on your body, the less rest you will need. Meaning, exercises for bigger muscle groups like legs, chest, and back typically need more rest between sets than exercises for smaller muscle groups like biceps, triceps, and calves. And at the same time, more demanding compound exercises like squat, deadlift, pull-ups, and various presses and rows typically require more rest between sets than less demanding isolation exercises like lateral rises, dumbbell flies, biceps curls, tricep press down, leg extension, and anything similar. Even if the isolation exercise is for a bigger muscle group, it still needs less rest between sets than a compound exercise for that same muscle group. And that again makes perfect sense. So the final major factor influencing rest periods is your specific fitness goal. Rest time between sets can be classified 2 different ways, complete and incomplete, and both have their own pros and cons depending on your goal. Complete or near incomplete rest times, this time of rest is longer in duration and allows for more recovery of your central nervous system. This means you will be able to maintain your work capacity better, maximize strength performance, and basically Be at your strongest form set to set and able to lift the most amount of weight for the most amount of reps. However, the amount of fatigue and metabolite accumulation, all of which play a role in fat loss, muscle building, and improving muscular endurance, is typically lower. Yeah? This is the amount of fatigue. Then there's the incomplete rest time. This type of rest is shorter in duration and allows for more accumulated fatigue, which is associated with higher increases in growth hormones along with various metabolic benefits as well. However, the amount of neural recovery will be lower, and this means your strength and work capacity from set to set will be a lot lower as well. So which type of rest is best for you? As you can see, there's something good and bad about each, and this is where your primary goal comes into play. Depending on exactly what your goal is, certain rest times, complete, incomplete, or a combination of both, would be better suited for you than others. Let me show you what I mean. A rest time between sets of 20 to 60 seconds would be an incomplete type of rest. And this would be most ideal for muscular endurance, metabolic training, circuit training, or burning some additional calories. Next, a rest time between sets of 1 to 2 minutes. This would be an incomplete to complete type of rest. And this would be most ideal for building muscle, getting toned, looking good. So a rest time of 1 to 2 minutes is good for looking good, building muscle, and so on. And a rest time between sets between 2 to 3 minutes. This would be a complete to incomplete type of rest, and most ideal it would be for building muscle, getting toned, looking good, increasing strength again. And then we have the rest time between sets of 3 to 5 minutes. A complete type of rest. This would be most ideal for strength and muscular power. As you can see, it doesn't have to be just incomplete or just complete rest time. Rest time don't have to be just real short or just real long. You can rest somewhere in the middle and get the benefits of both type of rest. And this, of course, leads to the almighty question: how long should I rest between sets? So putting all three factors influencing rest time together, here are my recommendation for exactly how long you should rest between sets based on your goal. For muscular endurance and or getting the benefits of metabolic circuits type training, resting 20 to 60 seconds between sets is probably ideal for you. If the exercise being done is more demanding on your body, rest more toward the higher end of that range, so 60 seconds, and if it's less demanding, rest more toward the lower end, 20 seconds. So, for increasing strength and maximizing power, muscular power, resting 2 to 5 minutes between sets is probably ideal for you. The higher your training intensity is for a given exercise and or the more demanding it is on your body, the more you should stay toward the higher end of that range, and the lower the intensity and or less demanding it is, the more you should stay toward the lower end of the range. So, and for building muscle, getting toned and improving how your body looks, resting 1 to 3 minutes between sets is probably ideal for you. The higher your training intensity is for a given exercise and or the more demanding it is on your body, the more you should stay nearer to the 2 to 3 minute range. And the lower the intensity and or the less demanding the exercise is, the more you should stay in the 1 to 2 minute range. So how long should I rest between exercises? Regarding how long to rest between different exercises, it should usually be about as long as you rested between sets of the previous exercise. Meaning, if you rested 3 minutes between sets of exercise 1, you should rest about 3 minutes before doing your first set of exercise 2. I actually tend to be a little less strict when it comes to rest time between exercises, because sometimes you just need a little more time to recover from that last set of the previous exercise, as well as time to actually get to a setup at your next exercise. So if you end up taking an extra minute or two when switching from one exercise to the next, that's usually alright, unless otherwise instructed. So what's next? Well, at this point we have covered the majority of what goes into creating the ideal workout routine. Now it's time to go over the final requirement that can literally make you break the effectiveness of your program. So we will talk about that in the next video, and now I wish you a nice day. Bye bye.